The second issue I would like to deal with this morning is the issue to do with the announced and purported expulsions of members of parliament from the Patriotic Front by Mr. Given Lubinda, who is acting president of the Patriotic Front faction. We would like to indicate here as government that we are a government of laws, and therefore all our citizens, including members of parliament, are protected by the laws of the land. In terms of parliamentarians, what they did on Monday to vote for Bill number 7 is within their prescribed privileges and within their mandate as given by Article 76 of the Republic of Zambia. Therefore, to find an announcement that those members of parliament of the Patriotic Front who voted for Bill number 7 have to be expelled is quite startling and hair-raising, because it is at variance and an affront to the law. Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, which is the Parliamentary Privileges and Immunities Act, does provide for privileges and immunities to members of parliament as they go around to perform their function within the House and within the precincts of parliament. And therefore, we wish to indicate that the purportedly or announced purported expulsion of the members of parliament of the Patriotic Front who voted for Bill number 7 is an act in futility, and it was just application of political cosmetics to try and soothe their egos after what happened over Bill number 7. There is no legal consequence whatsoever, and therefore citizens should treat that announced expulsion as mere politicking. In fact, it amounts to an attempted interference to the work of parliamentarians, and Honorable Given Lubinda, being a seasoned but now former member of parliament, ought to know, or at least should have known, that what he purported to have been announcing to the nation is a nullity. Yes, the Patriotic Front do have a constitution which governs the conduct of their membership, that includes members of parliament. But remember that in terms of our constitution, any law which is at variance, including acts of parliament, which are at variance with the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, to the extent to which they are at variance, cannot be sustained, cannot be justiciable. So, any law, therefore, such as a constitution of a political party, which at law is referred to as a club, cannot be used to extinguish the rights of members of parliament provided for by the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. So, the electorate's in those particular constituencies where we have members of parliament from the Patriotic Front who voted for Bill number 7 should know in advance that their members of parliament will remain in office until Parliament adjourns sine die. The provisions, if any, seeking to get legal grounds from the Patriotic Front manifesto, or rather constitution, to expel these members to the extent that the same is inconsistent with the constitution is unsustainable. I also want to take this opportunity to let my colleagues, the members of parliament who are the subject of this kind of political victimization, to know that they stand on firm ground. No law framed against members of parliament such as this will be sustained by any court of law in Zambia. There is nothing. So it is important at this particular stage for the citizens to know that that expulsion was just on paper, and it is just worth the salt of that particular paper on which Honorable Given Ruvinda was reading. There shall be no by-elections that may arise between now and the adjournment of Parliament sine die, somewhere I think in May, arising out of the expulsion of members of Parliament who voted for Bill number 7. They remain in situ. They remain in office. They remain members of Parliament of the Patriotic Front. Resolved. That is the time when we shall see who is going to stand on what political party ticket in 2026 for the general elections. For me, I'm very clear that members of parliament will choose those who want to recontest their seats, who will choose to stand on a political party ticket of their choice in accordance with our democratic tenets as a country. No one will be coerced. No one will be intimidated. No one will be threatened. And regardless of where you stand, the people of Zambia will have a final say through the ballot. The good news now is the citizens now know who stands for what. The citizens know who means what for country. And now the citizens know who can be relied upon and trusted for their weight. And the citizens know those who specialize in politics of propaganda, politics of misinforming citizens. The citizens know. And going forward, I urge citizens to take note of everything that we political leaders have said and done, so that when it matters most, you are able to inform your choices accordingly. Those who stand on shifting sand should know that the people of Zambia want leaders of morality who would like to provide principled leadership. Those who were saying they are leaders of Ichabache, and when it was time to include young people in parliament, they are the ones who debated vigorously against the inclusion of young people. You now know for what they stand for. That amendment of the Constitution, which is now law, is no longer debatable. It's no longer contestable. It is just awaiting application to its full extent. But notwithstanding that, already you can see from the media as of yesterday that more and more young people, more and more women, more and more differently abled have already begun to have their voices heard even louder. That is what President Hakainde Hichilema wanted. Now, beyond just speaking the way they spoke across the country yesterday to express their gratitude to the amendment of the Constitution, we want them to speak through a vote as they make their laws to govern their country going forward. I thought we needed to clarify that because I've been receiving a lot of calls to say, are we now going for by-elections because of that expulsion? There is no expulsion whatsoever. He was, and they were just trying to massage their ego to have temporary political psychic satisfaction, not anything serious whatsoever. The nation is moving forward.